His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received a secure palace former President of Hungary, Katalin Novak, upon her visit to Bahrain to attend the opening ceremony of the 3rd Asian Youth Games hosted by Bahrain. During the meeting, His Majesty welcomed the former President and reviewed with her the close historical friendship between the two countries. His Majesty praised the advanced level of joint cooperation and its continuous growth at all levels, which serves common interests and aspirations. His Majesty expressed appreciation for her keenness to attend and participate in the Asian Youth Games, as well as her commendable efforts and role in ensuring the success of this major continental event in Bahrain. A number of issues of mutual interest were also discussed during the meeting. Novak expressed gratitude and appreciation to His Majesty the King for the warm welcome and hospitality, as well as His Majesty's efforts to consolidate friendly ties and develop bilateral cooperation with Hungary. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received a secure palace in the presence of the personal representative of His Majesty the King, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Hamad Al Khalifa, senior invitees and heads of delegations participating in the 3rd Asian Youth Games, hosted by Bahrain under His Majesty's patronage, to greet His Majesty. His Majesty welcomed the guests, thanking them for attending this major continental championship and wishing them a pleasant stay in Bahrain. His Majesty the King praised the deep historical and strong relations between Bahrain and their countries, as well as the prosperity and development in all areas of joint cooperation, especially at the youth and sports levels, for the benefit of all. His Majesty expressed the Kingdom's pride in hosting this Asian sporting event, which strengthens friendship and cooperation and fosters closer relations and mutual understanding among young athletes. His Majesty noted the important role of sports in enhancing communication and promoting coexistence and tolerance among cultures, stressing that the gathering of young people from different countries of the Asian continent in Bahrain and the friendly competition is a real victory for which this tournament was organised. His Majesty praised the efforts of the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and the First Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, Chairman of the General Sports Authority, President of the Bahrain Olympic Committee and President of the Supreme Organising Committee for the Asian Games, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and their tireless efforts to ensure the success of this edition of the Games, which cemented Bahrain's position as a leading sports destination in the region for organising and hosting of various regional, continental and global championships. His Majesty commended the efforts of all the working committees and the organisation of the opening ceremony and the excellent preparation for this edition, thanks to the efforts of the citizens. His Majesty the King renewed his congratulations to Morocco on the Moroccan team's victory in the FIFA U20 World Cup 2025, praising the honourable performance throughout the tournament. For their part, the guests expressed thanks and gratitude to His Majesty the King for the warm welcome and hospitality, expressing pleasure with attending this major event, which is characterised by a high level of organisation. They praised Bahrain for providing all the necessary facilities to participants and visitors to ensure the success of the event in record time, wishing the Kingdom and its people continued progress and prosperity under His Majesty's leadership. The first Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, Chairman of the General Sports Authority and President of the Bahrain Olympic Committee, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, received the President of the Jordan Olympic Committee, His Royal Highness Prince Faisal bin Al Hussein, upon his visit to Bahrain to participate in the 3rd Asian Youth Games. His Highness welcomed His Royal Highness Prince Faisal, praising the strong fraternal relations between Bahrain and Jordan. His Highness emphasised the importance of the Games in strengthening sporting ties among Asian countries, praising the wide participation of delegations from various countries and wishing the Jordanian delegation success in all competitions. The first Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, Chairman of the General Sports Authority and President of the Bahrain Olympic Committee, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, received the Vice President of the Saudi Olympic and Paralympic Committee, His Highness Prince Fahad bin Jalawi bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, upon arrival in the Kingdom to attend the 3rd Asian Youth Games. His Highness welcomed His Royal Highness Prince Fahad to Bahrain, commending the historical relations between Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, supported by the leadership of both countries to advance sports cooperation and serve the aspirations of the peoples in various domains. His Highness emphasised the importance of Saudi Arabia's participation in the Asian Youth Games as an opportunity to strengthen joint work between the Olympic committees of both countries, exchange expertise and promote initiatives to advance the Olympic movement and empower youth in sports. His Highness wished Saudi Arabia continued progress and prosperity. BDF Commander-in-Chief Field Marshal Sheikh Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Khalifa received the Commander of the Unified Military Command of the GCC, Major General Abdulaziz bin Ahmed Al Balawi, and the Commander of the Peninsula Shield Forces, Major General Mohammed bin Abdurrahman Al Ruwais. Present were the Minister of Defence Affairs, Lieutenant General Abdullah bin Hassan Al Nuaimi, the BDF Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Thiab bin Saga Al Nuaimi, and the Advisor for Financial and Technical Affairs at the BDF General Headquarters, Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Khalifa. The Commander-in-Chief commended the continued efforts of both commands in strengthening and advancing joint defence cooperation and integration among GCC member states. The Speaker of the Council of Representatives and Chairman of the Executive Committee of the Parliamentary Delegation, Ahmed Al-Musalem, met with the President of the House of Councillors of Morocco, with Mohammed Wild Al-Rashid, on the sidelines of the 151st IPU Assembly. Al-Musalem pointed out that Bahraini parliamentary delegation looks forward to establishing joint cooperation programmes with the Council of Advisors in parliamentary training and legislative performance development. He noted that the Moroccan parliamentary experience represents an advanced model of openness and interaction with social issues, which Arab parliaments can benefit from. Al-Rashid expressed appreciation of the support given to Bahraini-Moroccan relations by the two leaderships, praising the active role played by the Shura and Representatives Councils in Bahrain in supporting Arab and international parliamentary cooperation. In the presence of the Speaker of the Council of Representatives, Ahmed Al-Musalem, the member of Bahrain's parliamentary delegation, MP Hassan Ibrahim, participated as a keynote speaker in the workshop on Parliament's taking action on AI and learning from global experiences held during the 151st IPU Assembly. MP Hassan emphasised that the Royal Directives embody Bahrain's commitment to AI governance to ensure the safe use of modern technology and achieve a balance between innovation and legislation that protects rights. He also reviewed Bahrain's pioneering efforts in developing a comprehensive legislative and strategic framework for the optimal use of AI to serve humanity and promote sustainable development. He noted that the legislative authority attaches great importance to establishing an integrated legal framework to regulate AI, recognising the opportunities and challenges that these technologies bring. Bahrain's parliamentary delegation, led by Representatives Council Speaker Ahmed Al-Musalem, continues its active participation at the 151st IPU Assembly and related meetings in Geneva. The delegation is also to attend several permanent committee meetings, workshops and discussion sessions held on the sidelines of the Assembly, which runs until Thursday. Under the patronage of the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Bahrain Islamic Bank BISB announced the launch of the second edition of the We Write in Arabic initiative in strategic partnership with the Ministry of Information, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Visa Inc., Zain Bahrain and Bahrain Writers Association. The initiative aims to strengthen the status of the Arabic language and link it to creativity and innovation through a national initiative targeting the 10 to 35 age group, which includes 4 main categories: short stories, graphic novels, poetry and novels, with cash prizes of up to 1,000 BD for each winner in each category, and the publication of the literary works in a book dedicated to the initiative. The initiative is part of the bank's strategy to support community development and reinforces ongoing commitment to investing in promising national talent from the new generation to build a strong base of local talent capable of leading the future. The Minister of Electricity and Water Affairs, Yasser Hamdan, participated in the 5th meeting of the OIC ministers responsible for water held in Jeddah. In his speech, the Minister affirmed that the convening of this meeting embodies the commitment of Islamic countries to collective action in the fields of water, environment and sustainable development, stressing Bahrain's keenness to promote environmental sustainability and water security through the expansion of sustainable water management in line with the National Water Strategy 2021 to 2030. The Minister expressed thanks and appreciation to Saudi Arabia for hosting the meeting, praising its leading role in supporting the OIC. The Minister of Housing and Urban Planning, Amna Al-Rumehi, confirmed that the Ministry has recently completed the allocation of projects for the first phase of the option to obtain a residential voucher and benefit from construction financing through the Tasheel programme in a number of housing projects across the Kingdom's governorates. She indicated that the Ministry is currently preparing a timeline for the allocation of 804 housing services within new batches of vouchers and construction financing across all governorates during November and December. The Minister added that in the coming days, the Ministry will contact beneficiaries of the residential voucher option and construction financing from the Tasheel programme in several batches, starting from November until the end of December, to complete the allocation procedures. An agreement aimed at facilitating proof of origin procedures for Bahraini industrial exports to Saudi Arabia was signed as part of the second phase of the Takamul initiative, which stems from the initiatives and projects of the Bahraini-Saudi Coordination Council. Present were the Minister of Industry and Commerce, Abdullah Fakhro, and Ambassador of Saudi Arabia to Bahrain, Naf al-Sudari. Fakhro affirmed the depth of close fraternal relations between Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. He highlighted the shared commitment to further strengthening these relations in various fields, particularly economic and industrial ones, in light of the support of His Majesty the King and the custodian of the 2 holy mosques. He praised the role of the Bahraini-Saudi Coordination Council, chaired by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, and His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister, in strengthening joint coordination between the 2 countries in various sectors and creating a favourable environment for creating promising investment opportunities. The agreement was signed by the Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, Iman al-Dosari, and the Acting Under-Secretary for Empowerment at the Saudi Ministry of Industry and Mineral Resources, Engineer Badafauda. This agreement aims to enhance the flow of national goods between the 2 countries. The Vice President of the Bahrain Olympic Committee and Vice President of the Olympic Council of Asia for the 3rd Asian Youth Games, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Ali Al Khalifa, attended the flag-raising ceremony of Bahrain, marking the kingdom's participation and the start of the 3rd Asian Youth Games. The flag-raising ceremony is an Olympic tradition organised to celebrate the countries participating in all Asian and Olympic Games. The ceremony concluded with the playing of the national anthem of Bahrain amid a festive atmosphere. The flag-raising ceremony was attended by a number of members of the administrative and media delegation, technical and administrative bodies, and national team players. The Olympic Council of Asia Executive Board held the 101st meeting ahead of the official opening of the 3rd Asian Youth Games 2025, hosted by Bahrain. The meeting was attended by a large number of representatives of Olympic and sports committees from approximately 45 countries. The meeting discussed ways to enhance cooperation between member states to support Asian sports at the international level. It also reviewed the latest developments in the reports of the organising committee for the Aichi Nagoya Asian Games 2026 and the Asian Indoor and Martial Arts Committee in Saudi Arabia. The meeting also presented new initiatives and strategic plans to support emerging sports and increase youth participation in sporting events. Representatives of the participating countries expressed optimism about the results of the board meeting, noting that cooperation between Asian countries will contribute to significant progress in sports. They also commended Bahrain's hosting of the event in a record time, which underscores Bahrain's ability to host major sporting events and its active role in supporting Asian sports.
101 executive board member with all committees in the Olympic Council of Asia. In this meeting, it was decided that Uzbekistan will be hosting the next Asian Youth Games for the year 2029, and Cambodia will host it for the 2033. But what was very, to be proud of is everybody was speaking about how Bahrain was able to host such a big event in such a short period, where you have more than 4,300 athletes, 13,000 dignitaries, and done at a very short time. And this, of course, comes, for the support received from the country, from His Majesty, King Hamad, and our Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Sheikh Salman, and His Highness Sheikh Nasser, Sheikh Khalid, and of course all the support we got from the Olympic Council of Asia. So they were with us from day one, giving us the best feedback, and we really appreciate all the support we got.
Today we had Olympic Council of Asia Executive Board meeting, which was deliberated on very, very important points. From today, it was an update for the next Asian Game 2026, Aichi Nagoya, which I am also the chairman for those games. And that was an update together with the Indoor Asian Martial Games in Riyadh. So that was our main objective of today's meeting.
The eyes of the Asian continent are turning to Bahrain to follow the opening ceremony of the 3rd edition of the Asian Youth Games, amidst an atmosphere of excitement and widespread anticipation from sports fans across the participating countries. This tournament is witnessing a wide participation of Asian teams competing in a variety of sports amid great aspirations for remarkable achievements that showcase the talents of Asian youth on the continental stage. Meanwhile, Bahraini teams continue to shine through their remarkable performance in various competitions. Our national teams are participating in a number of decisive matches, both individually and collectively, striving to achieve positive results that reflect the significant development witnessed by Bahraini sports and strengthen its position on the Asian sports map. Bahrain continues its preparations to host the 3rd Asian Youth Games, which will be held until the 31st of October. And as preparations accelerate, Bahraini youth are playing a pivotal role in the organisation. More in this report.
Bahraini volunteers in the 3rd Asian Youth Games play a key role in the preparation and organisation of the event, as the venues of the Games are witnessing the hard work in implementing the intensive field plans that include preparing sports facilities and following up on logistics and media services to ensure that all venues are ready for the start of the competitions. Bahraini volunteers are also participating in event management, coordinating with delegations, and welcoming participating teams. The volunteers receive specialized training, communication skills, and sports event organization. to perform their duties with high efficiency, representing a proud image of Bahraini youth in continental forums. With the start of the competitions, Bahrain's readiness to host a sporting event that brings together Asian youths on its soil is clear, affirming the success of its model of investing in national competencies so that the image of Bahraini organization remains a symbol of trust and excellence in Asian sports.
Bahrain's parliamentary delegation participated in a hearing with international experts and parliamentarians to discuss the role of parliaments in establishing robust mechanisms for post-conflict management and restoring a just and lasting peace. The delegation emphasised that achieving just and lasting peace is based on a comprehensive vision that integrates justice, development and legislative reform and is founded on a dialogue, tolerance and coexistence. The delegation noted that parliaments play a pivotal role in building trust, establishing traditional justice and promoting popular participation, affirming Bahrain's commitment to supporting international parliamentary efforts to establish the values of justice and peace. Shura Council First Deputy Speaker Jamal Fakhro participated in the meeting of the Standing Committee on Sustainable Development, which was held as part of the 151st IPU Assembly. Representatives of the parliaments participating in the meeting discussed a draft resolution of the committee entitled Building a Fair and Sustainable Global Economy, the role of parliaments in combating protectionists, reducing custom tariffs and preventing corporate tax evasion. The Secretary-General of the Shura Council, Karima Al-Abbasi, the Secretary-General of the Representatives Council, Mohammed Al-Bouainin, participated in discussion sessions with the Secretaries-General of a number of councils and parliaments. During the meeting, the Secretary-Generals discussed the retirement for employees in national parliaments, reviewing different experiences in this field, highlighting the challenges and solutions that develop human resource systems and ensure the sustainability of competencies and expertise. Views were also exchanged on the best parliamentary practices related to policies. Representatives Council Secretary-General and Executive Committee of the Parliamentary Division Secretary, Engineer Mohammed Al-Bouainin, praised the royal patronage of Bahraini cadres and urged to make constructive national contributions in all forums to consolidate Bahrain's position, highlighting the achievements of the comprehensive development process. Al-Bouainin expressed pride upon his election as a member of the Executive Committee of the Association of Secretaries-General of the National Parliaments. Al-Bouainin also affirmed that his election is a responsibility that he will strive to fulfil with dedication for the benefit of the Kingdom and the Association of Secretaries-General of National Parliaments. Shura Council Secretary-General Karima Al-Abbasi participated in a panel discussion during the meetings of the Association of Secretaries-General of National Parliaments. She asserted that the achievements made in legislative work reflect the royal support and keenness of His Majesty the King to ensure that the Council is an active partner in developing policies and legislation that serve the country and its citizens. Al-Abbasi added that digital transformation has become a fundamental pillar in the development of parliamentary work tools. She also pointed out that Bahrain's experience in modernising parliamentary work represents a model that can be built upon internationally, proposing the establishment of an international parliamentary platform open to legislative knowledge under the IPU umbrella. Bahrain's parliamentary delegation participated in a high-level meeting on parliamentary action for education and humanitarian crises. During the meeting, MP Ahmed Al-Saloom stressed that it is a duty of parliamentarians around the world to protect children's rights and guarantee their right to a safe and stable environment that allows them to continue their education. He noted that Bahrain, under the guidance of His Majesty the King and the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, has implemented a number of educational and humanitarian initiatives and projects in several affected countries. He said that Bahrain is keen to support international efforts and projects aimed at promoting children's right to education in a safe and stable environment. Shura Council and IPU Committee on the Promotion of Respect for International Humanitarian Law member Dalal Al-Zayed attended a meeting of the committee in Geneva. Al-Zayed reviewed Bahrain's pioneering experience in applying the system of alternative penalties and the open prison programme. She affirmed that the Kingdom's experience embodies a pioneering and advanced reformist and humanitarian model in the development of the criminal justice system, based on the principles of justice, reform and respect for human dignity.
It's fantastic, changing from prisoner to beneficiaries. This is a good initiative because if it were possible that in the whole world that many countries can replicate what Bahrain has done, that would be a good idea to change prisoner to beneficiary. This is to return human dignity to individuals. That's what we needed as an international humanitarian law. That is the best life for people, human beings.
Yeah, today I want to say that I am very delighted with the representative of Bahrain in our committee, in the International Humanitarian Law Committee, which I chair, Dalai Al-Zayed, for her presentation, excellent presentation with regard to the legislation that Bahrain presented with regards to, in my opinion, it's another humanitarian issue where there is the rehabilitation of the prisoners and also other issues regarding the detention and also the quality and of punishment in order to address that in the sake and the interest of the community in Bahrain. But in my opinion, it's also an international approach. I will thank the Kingdom of Bahrain and Parliament, and of course, above all, the one who really did the job here. Again, I mentioned her name, Dalai Al-Zayed. Thank you very much.
We just came to know about the new practice of Bahrain, about how to make the facilities to the prisoners to change their life, to change their mindset. And it's a very good initiative. And if the success rate is 97 point, I should appreciate Bahrain for this type of initiative. And my best wishes to you for this type of practice.
Bahrain's Parliamentary Delegation member, Mariam Al-Din, participated in the IPU Assembly session on protecting humanitarian action in armed conflicts. She highlighted Bahrain's ongoing support for international efforts to uphold and apply humanitarian law, noting national laws and policies align with its standards and ensure humanitarian aid reaches those in conflict zones. She added that national policies focus on committing to humanitarian law principles through active regional and international engagement, facilitating humanitarian access, enhancing legal and executive protection frameworks, close cooperation with UN agencies globally, support for peacekeeping, and fostering dialogue and diplomacy to prevent conflicts. Shura Council and Bahrain's Parliamentary Delegation member Halal Ramzi participated in the Interfaith Dialogue workshop as part of the IPU Assembly. Fayez described Bahrain's experience as a key to community stability and a strong defence against hatred and extremism, promoting equal citizenship, rule of law and respect for religious and cultural diversity, making it a model for diversity and tolerance worldwide. She highlighted the Kingdom's international recognition when the UN designated January the 28th as the International Day of Coexistence and Tolerance, underscoring Bahrain's role in promoting moderation. Bahrain's Parliamentary Division participated in a workshop on children's rights in the digital environment held on the sidelines of the 151st IPU Assembly. MP Dr. Mandi Al-Suwek emphasised that Bahrain represents an advanced model in protecting children's rights in the digital environment through its legislative oversight and community efforts aimed at ensuring a safe cyberspace. He explained that the rapid digital transformation the world is witnessing poses real challenges that require comprehensive legislative and oversight response. He also explained that Bahrain continues to raise community awareness through programmes and initiatives targeting children and families on the safe use of technology. Bahrain's Parliamentary Division delegation attended a workshop on parliamentary mediation as part of the 151st IPU Assembly. They affirmed that Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty the King and with support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, has presented a unique Arab model in employing parliamentary diplomacy and political mediation to build a national consensus and consolidate stability based on a reform approach based on dialogue, understanding and popular participation. They explained that parliamentary mediation represents an effective tool for building peace and enhancing societal and political stability, and that parliaments are at the heart of international efforts to consolidate a culture of understanding and build trust between peoples and various parties. The Parliamentary Division delegation participated in the Gulf Coordination meeting in preparation for participation in the meeting of the Committee on Social and Cultural Affairs of the Asian Parliamentary Assembly, scheduled to be held in Moscow, Russia. The delegations of the legislative councils of the GCC reviewed the committee meeting agenda and the topics to be discussed, in addition to distributing roles and unifying visions and positions on the topics listed, reflecting the unified positions and constraints of GCC on various social and cultural issues and concerns to the peoples of Asia. Shura Council member and member of the Bahrain's parliamentary delegation, Hala Ramsey, gave a speech at the workshop held as part of the meetings of the Sustainable Development Standing Committee within the framework of the 151st IPU Assembly. She noted that Bahrain treats global warming as a global challenge with economic, social and environmental dimensions. Faiz noted that Bahrain launched a number of pioneering national initiatives to address the challenges of global warming, most notably the National Carbon Neutrality Strategy 2060. The programme protects the coastline from rising sea levels and programmes to support electricity and water for the most vulnerable groups. The Labour Market Regulatory Authority has launched an upgraded version of its wage protection system, which helps protect the rights of the employers and employees and ensures that wages are paid on time, thereby promoting stable contractual relationships in the private sector. To speak more on this subject, we have the CEO of the Labour Market Regulatory Authority, Nabras Mohammed Talib, who gave us this statement.
The enhanced wages protection system is the result of joint efforts between the Ministry of Labour, the Labour Market Regulatory Authority, and the Central Bank of Bahrain in partnership with Benefit and other private sector partners. Now, in this new version, we have introduced a unified platform for processing the payment of wages, which means whether you're a micro business or a large enterprise, you'll be able to process wages with ease and without having to invest in a dedicated payroll system. A key feature in this new system is the electronic documentation of wage transactions, which helps in ensuring transparency and in protecting the rights of all parties. Now, in addition to that, this version now allows employers to provide further details such as determining the payment dates, entering fixed and variable components of wages separately, which means they'll be able to document variable components such as allowances and commissions. It's also worth mentioning that with this version, LMRA will also be able to more effectively and efficiently address cases of unpaid wages due to the enhanced reporting mechanisms that have been introduced. So we have already integrated a group of banks and financial institutions within the system, and we are working on gradually integrating with others based on their readiness. Now, once we have all the concerned banks and financial institutions on board, the system will act as a comprehensive tool to facilitate wage payments for both national and expatriate employees in the private sector. It will significantly improve the efficiency in addressing cases related to unpaid wages and hopefully reduce labor disputes related to wage payments, all of which will in turn enhance workplace stability in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Well, the system provides employers with a secure and reliable platform to pay wages electronically without additional costs or the need to invest in separate systems. At the same time, it documents whether employees have received their salary on the determined time and in a transparent manner, which of course contributes to enhancing their sense of security and job stability. We believe that this will reduce labor disputes related to wages, as mentioned earlier, and supports private sector organizations, particularly micro, small, and medium enterprises, in complying with regulations related to payment of wages.
And in Arab and international news, the Saudi Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Highness Prince Faisal bin Fahd, met with his Dutch counterpart David van Wiel, who is currently visiting Saudi Arabia. Both ministers discussed relations between the two countries and ways to develop and enhance joint cooperation. They also discussed the latest regional and international developments and exchanged views on them. Oman's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Zayed Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, held a telephone call with Syrian Minister of Foreign Affairs and Expatriates, Asad Al-Shabani. During the call, bilateral relations between two countries were discussed, along with ways to enhance and develop them in various fields, in a manner that serves the common interests of the Omani and Syrian peoples. The International Organization for Migration, the IOM, announced the return of more than 2.6 million displaced persons and refugees to their homes across Sudan during the period from November 2024 to September 2025. IOM's Deputy Director General for Operations, Ugoshi Daniel, stated that the volume of returnees to Khartoum represents both an indicator of resilience and a warning at the same time, noting that many Sudanese cities still suffer from the effects of the conflict. He explained that estimates indicate that nearly 3.8 million people have left Khartoum, pointing out that the current returnees represent only a quarter of the number of displaced persons from the state. And now we turn to the weather in the Kingdom of Bahrain.